Shalom, and welcome back to B'nai Noach Academy, Thoughts on the Torah. Please remember to hit the like button, to subscribe, and most importantly, to share this insight and inspiration with friends and family. When you look into the book of Numbers, chapter 8, verse 3, this is after God instructs Aaron to kindle the menorah, to light the candelabra, which was fixed in the holies in the inner chamber of the holy temple. The purpose of this candelabra was, of course, not to generate light internally for the purpose of the service that they had, but rather this was a symbol of how the holy temple gives off light to the rest of the world. And in verse 3, it says, quote, Vayas Cain Aharon. And Aaron did so. He kindled the menorah, Ka'asher tzivah Hashem et Moshe. Exactly, just like God had commanded Moses. What is this saying to us? What is this telling us? Well, the Midrash, and in fact, the primary commentary on the Torah, Rashi, Rabbi Shlomo Yitzchaki, they point out that this is to tell us the praise of Aharon. This is to tell us what kind of special person he was. That what? Shelo shina, that he did not deviate. He did exactly as a God told him to do. Question. Would you deviate? If God told you to do something, he gave you exact instructions, would you deviate? Would I deviate? What makes him so special? What is so special about the fact that he didn't deviate? Even a simple servant, a regular private, a soldier in the army doesn't deviate from instructions. The answer is, you see, Aaron, remember, he's second to Moses. Aaron understood. Aaron appreciated. Aaron enjoyed spirituality more than any one of us can imagine, ever. Aaron, when he came to light the menorah, when he came to Vayas Cain Aaron, and Aaron did so, it would follow, it would actually seem reasonable to imagine that he got so involved, he got so spiritually entranced that he actually would deviate, not intentionally. You just get carried away. You would just get overwhelmed with the pleasure, with the spiritual pleasure, that he would start to almost maybe improvise or perhaps somewhat deviate from the exact definitive instructions, because he would be so engrossed in the spirituality of it. He would be so entranced, so to speak, with the great spiritual pleasure. And that is the praise of Aaron, that no, he did exactly as was commanded to do. In other words, he was able to contain his own spiritual excitement. He was able to contain his own spiritual pleasure and do exactly as was told. Now that is something special. That is something extraordinary. That is something exceptional, and that's why the Torah points it out. This is a lesson for us. Perhaps most of us, everyone has more or less, your average person has the general attitude that they want to do the right thing. They want to do as commanded. They want to do the rules, follow the rules. But what happens is, and we see various streams of people, that once it gets to the phase of expression, the phase of, so to speak, I would call it the spiritual enjoyment of it, that's where people start to deviate. That's where people start to add their own expression. That's where people start to veer off the course. They don't do it with any intention of going against God, against the rules. On the contrary, they're so involved, they're so excited about it, that they lose proportion, that they lose the perspective of this is what God said, and they, so to speak, go out of their lane. And that's the lesson over here. That seems fantastic, but that isn't fantastic, or certainly it's not the ultimate. The ultimate is that with all the excitement that one may have, notwithstanding all their spiritual pleasure that they're experiencing, notwithstanding the trance that they're in, because they are so excited about godliness and about the moment, the spiritual observance that they're in, but they have to always keep that perspective. They have to always keep and stay true to that line that God gave us. Because ultimately, no matter how much a human being could appreciate, could understand spirituality, could enjoy spirituality, it still is not the ultimate, because we are mortal beings. We don't have the capacity. Even someone like Aharon doesn't ultimately have the capacity to appreciate it to the ultimate level, certainly not like God appreciates it. And therefore, we, in the moment when we get all caught up in the excitement of the spiritual endeavor that we're in, we may not understand, we may not appreciate, we may not see the importance, the need for staying within the line and following exactly the details as commanded. And that is the greatest expression of true service to God, is that even then we should be able to and actually follow the exact details, the exact rules, precisely as God gave them. That is the greatest expression of us saying we are subservient to God. We don't understand all of it. We understand a little bit, and that's the part we're getting excited about, but we cannot, and certainly will not attempt to play God, and therefore we follow the instructions exactly as given to us by God.